All right. So, let me now move to a topic that was discussed earlier in the panels as well, which is lack of funding for women entrepreneurs. And Diti, let me come to you. You started Pulp Cosmetics with your kind of initial investments. Tell me, what is the major transformation that needs to be done?
So I think with startups especially, right? So I think initially when we start, we think that it's okay to bootstrap. It's okay to probably even wait until much later to get funding. But that's a mistake that every startup does. And I was lucky enough to have mentors early through my journey, and I found investors. And it's important to find investors at the right time because you don't want to burn out, you don't want to, and it also helps with scaling, right? So you need the cash flow to scale the company, and if you don't have that, you can't progress. So I think it's very important to get the right investors at a right time and also not dilute too much of your company in the first round. Make sure that you're smart, and yeah, we were kind enough by Until Ventures to fund us. So
but did you face difficulty in getting the right investors?
Yes, initially, yes. People don't understand, investors especially in India don't understand beauty industry. They think that it's a retail brand. So as soon as we launch, we make money in the next 3 years. But no, there's a lot of R&D that goes behind it, and it's not as easy to make money like other companies do. So it was very tough to convince the investors, but I think I did okay with that. Yeah.
Surely. All right, Priyanka, let me come to you. As a startup ecosystem enabler, do you think running more mentorship programs can help solve the women entrepreneurs' problem of lack of funding and help them perform better?
Sure. I think the mentorship comes more handy when you are in early stages, right? So you need a lot of information. You look for a lot of support in terms of understanding much deeper engagement into the market segments, how your product can scale in other geographies, scale in your own native market, right? That's where the mentoring piece play a very critical role in your early stages. Once you move past in your growth stage, you look more at advisory support in terms of opening up market access connects, opening up pitching opportunities in front of investor. That's the kind of mentorship that you look at. So absolutely designed, structured, well outcome-based mentorship is what any startup would look for.
All right, my next question is for all of you, and whoever wants to answer this. You're all experienced entrepreneurs. Are you seeing a kind of shift in the thought process of investors? Are they more willing to now invest in women-led businesses? Yes, go ahead.
I actually have a counter example for
Sure.
biases with investors.
Would love to hear that, yeah.
I think early on, maybe the first couple of years of our journey, and we're 9 years into it now, I did face a little bit of bias being a woman founder. I have 2 male co-founders, one of which is my husband. But I think as the company started scaling really well and growing really well, I have almost faced no bias in the last 7 years. And that's actually, I think, shows the growth in the investment community today, where people are accepting and understanding that women can do it all.
Shilpa, what you agree with her?
My view is the statistic. Only 1.5% of VC funding in India goes to women. So 98.5 goes to men, clearly.
Long way to go.
So there's a long way to go. And these conversations help a lot. I'll also point out that in the US, for example, only 1.9% of VC funding goes to women. So we are there for, that's not a good comparison, but it's equally bad across the world. And across the world, we have a lot to go, long way to go, including India, of course. So that's my take on it.
All right. Likita, you've employed nearly 90% women workforce in your company, and that's quite a number. So tell us about, what will it take really for more organizations to kind of ensure equal participation of both men and women?
I think it's important to understand the sector that I am in, which is the agri sector. So we employ a lot of labor. And we see that, as Mr. Rosha also pointed out, that in a certain strata of the workforce, there is a lot of women participation. But as we go up, there isn't much participation in the leadership roles. And that's where I think that there has to be more reform and like people coming in and actually encouraging women. Though we are 100% women-owned business, we do not have one single male director on our board. It is...
That deserves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we are. We constantly look for people because I don't want to feel like the odd one out in my office. So we constantly look for people to come join us. Also at the factory, we empower the local women to come and work.
Kalpana, talk to us about, similar to hers, how you're empowering communities and women to participate in the kind of projects that you're doing.
First of all, starting with my own sustainable home. So 100 women in our community know what is a sustainable home today.
Okay.
And we don't talk sustainability in theory. We talk sustainability in action. So straight away, that's that's how we talk. And a number of talks, awareness sessions, a lot of TED Talks, and so many talks in the media about what is, harvesting rainwater, how logical it is and how circular it is. And today we've created a microeconomy by developing, restoring a stepwell. We've actually created a microeconomy for 100 women who live around the stepwell. They have come up with interesting ideas to market their own products, food, and they make money out of it. So I think we've gone in several tangents, and I'm super proud of what I do today.
Mansi, tell us what kind of gender parity have you maintained at Dr. C?
So our team at Dr. C is squarely 50-50 men and women. This is everyone from entry level all the way to management. And actually, a lot of our managers are homegrown from the lower levels. So we're very proud of that. This was a deliberate effort on my part because I wanted the company to represent India and society basically in terms of diversity in religion, race, gender, different parts of India, that sort of thing.
All right, Priyanka, while the numbers of women-led startups have improved significantly, but the growth is not that impressive when it comes to, the female entrepreneurship index. So how do you think India can bridge that gap?
So one, I think to start off, we don't have a common platform where we have benchmarked the legends or the leaders who are experiencing the same challenges across the globe, right? As she rightly mentioned, India is having one of the largest women-led enterprises, but it's just 20% of what we are. So I think blended financial mechanisms is one such way to promote women entrepreneurship. And we have, I think Telangana has the first Chief Innovation Officer woman, Shanta, driving grassroots innovation. We need to bring in leaders at that level who can actually stand as examples, driving innovation, setting up examples for other people so that they can relate to it and, go forward with it.
Sure. I need to mention this, and Kalpana, you're known as the water warrior, and recently you were honored with the prestigious Sujal Shakti Samman 2023. Tell me how essential it is for women entrepreneurs to kind of be recognized, and do awards truly, benefit an entrepreneur's journey?
Absolutely does, because it's an inspiration for 100 more women to see that, this journey is successful and you're recognized by the nation. I mean, at a national platform, at the Jal Ministry, for what you do, you've been recognized. So that's a huge inspiration for a lot more women to step into this entrepreneurship, which is actually rainwater harvesting is a multi-crore business if you actually strategize it and put it on the table and work around it. And it is creating sustainability, circularity, and not depending on water from rivers. And you are becoming sustainable as a city. So I think women, a lot more women can come into this arena, seeing this success story from where to where. I started as an architect and designer with my own sustainable home, and where I've reached today. So it's an inspiration for many people that you've seen that, on these platforms, you've been honored and recognized. I think it's maybe a role model for a few, because I didn't have a role model to follow, because I honestly wanted to do something about it. And I thought my 8 years of journey as just driving awareness as an NGO didn't take me anywhere. the last 2 years of creating an enterprise for rainwater harvesting and creating my own DPRs and seeing how to implement smartly is really got a few crores in the last 2 years is something I'm so proud of. Yeah,
Absolutely. And on that
I'm creating impact in a very, very big way.
And on that impactful note, it's time for me to wrap up this conversation. Thank you so much, ladies. A huge round of applause for the Wonder Woman of Telangana. Thank you for sharing your stories of hardships and success. Many thanks for joining us this evening.